The Ethiopian forest was alive with sounds. Birds sang, insects buzzed, and leaves rustled in the wind. Daniel, a young photographer from London, walked carefully through the trees. He wanted to find the Surma tribe and take photos of their unique way of life. Daniel crouched down to take a picture of a bright yellow flower. Just as he clicked the camera, he felt a sharp pain in his leg. He looked down and gasped. A fat, shiny snake, later he learned it was a gaboon viper, had bitten him. Its fangs dripped venom, and Daniel's leg started burning like fire. Oh no, Daniel whispered, panicking. He tried to move, but his body felt heavy. He fell to the ground, his camera bag landing beside him. His head spun, and everything went dark. When Daniel woke a little, he saw people with painted white faces and big plates in their lips standing over him. He wanted to say, "Help me," but his throat wouldn't work. The women wrapped his leg in leaves, and the men tied him to a stretcher made of sticks. They carried him away as he drifted back into darkness. When Daniel opened his eyes, he was in a small hut made of sticks and reeds. His leg was wrapped tightly in herbs, and the swelling was smaller. A woman sat beside him, grinding something green in a bowl. She had the biggest lip plate Daniel had ever seen. "Where am I?" Daniel whispered. The woman didn't answer, but called out in her language. Soon, others came into the hut. There were men with scars on their faces, women with painted bodies, and children peeking from behind their mothers. An older man, clearly the chief, knelt by Daniel and touched his leg. He spoke gently, but Daniel didn't understand. The tribe's faces, however, showed kindness. They had saved him. Daniel pointed to his camera bag and mimed taking a picture. The chief chuckled and brought him the bag. Inside were his flashlight, a book, and a bottle of water. His phone, however, was missing. "Where's my phone?" Daniel asked. The tribe only smiled and patted his shoulder. As Daniel recovered, he saw how the tribe lived. Every morning, the women painted their bodies with white clay, creating beautiful patterns. They stretched their lips with plates. The bigger the plate, the more cattle a woman's family would get when she married. One evening, the tribe gathered around a big fire. The chief began telling stories. Even though Daniel didn't understand the words, the chief's voice was soft and calming. Daniel could feel the importance of the tales. After the stories, the fun began. The tribe played a game where they chased a tiny piglet through the mud. Everyone laughed as the piglet zigzagged, squealing loudly. "Your turn," someone gestured to Daniel. Daniel shook his head, laughing nervously, but the tribe cheered him on, clapping and pointing to the piglet. Daniel stepped into the mud, his shoes sinking instantly. He tried to grab the piglet, but it was so fast. It slipped through his hands again and again. The tribe laughed so hard they were crying. Finally, Daniel tripped and landed face first in the mud, his arms wrapping around the piglet. He stood up, holding the squealing piglet high. The tribe cheered, clapping and stomping. Daniel laughed with them, feeling like he belonged. The next day, the tribe invited Daniel to a special ceremony. They painted his face with white clay and led him to a pen filled with cows. The chief handed him a bowl and pointed to a cow. Daniel watched in confusion as someone filled their bowl with cow urine and poured it over their head. The tribe laughed and clapped. It was their way of welcoming someone into their family. Daniel's eyes widened. "You want me to do what?" he said, laughing nervously. The tribe cheered him on, some pretending to pour bowls over their own heads to show him what to do. Daniel held the bowl, staring at the yellow liquid. He took a deep breath and said, "Okay, here goes nothing." He poured the cow urine over his head. It was warm, smelled awful, and dripped into his shirt. The tribe erupted into cheers, clapping and laughing. Daniel laughed too, shaking his head and saying, "This is the weirdest thing I've ever done." One evening, Daniel woke to the sound of chanting. He stepped outside and saw the tribe gathered in a circle. In the center, his camera, phone, and flashlight were arranged on a mat. Painted stones and leaves surrounded them. The healer, an older woman with a big lip plate, explained through gestures. She pointed to the sky and to Daniel's leg. The tribe believed his strange objects were gifts from the gods. To heal him fully, they needed to offer these items back to the gods. Daniel's heart sank. His camera and phone were so important to him. They connected him to his life back in London. "No, please," Daniel said, but he saw the hope and belief in their eyes. The healer handed him a small painted stone. She mimed placing it on the mat as part of the ceremony. Slowly, Daniel knelt and placed the stone next to his camera. The tribe chanted, danced, and even sacrificed a rooster that had never crowed, a rare and special offering. Daniel watched, feeling a strange mix of sadness and respect. As Daniel's leg healed, he joined more of the tribe's daily activities. He helped grind corn, carried water from the stream, and even learned to throw a spear, though he always missed. One day, Daniel had an idea. He used the flashlight from his bag to show the children how light worked without fire. Their eyes lit up, and they chased the beam as it danced on the hut walls. Daniel also helped the tribe make a simple water filter. He used stones, cloth, and a hollow log to clean muddy water. When the chief saw the clear water dripping from the filter, he nodded in approval. The tribe began to see Daniel not just as a guest, but as one of their own. When Daniel was fully healed, it was time for him to leave. The tribe gathered around him. The chief gave him a carved wooden staff, a symbol of strength. The healer gave him a pouch of herbs and said, "For life," in broken English. The children hugged him tightly, their laughter making him smile. Daniel promised he would return, though his heart ached to leave. Back in London, Daniel wrote articles and gave talks about the Surma tribe. He shared their traditions, like the big lip plates, the piglet chase, and the cow urine ceremony. People laughed and cried as they listened to his stories. Months later, Daniel returned to the village, this time with gifts. He brought solar lanterns, clothes, and picture books for the children. The tribe welcomed him with open arms, their joy filling the air. The children squealed with delight as they played under the soft glow of the lanterns. As Daniel watched the tribe laugh and dance around the fire, he felt deeply grateful. The Surma tribe had taught him that even in the most remote places, kindness, humor, and connection can bring people together. Daniel had come to the forest as a stranger, but he left his family.